Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Thank you very much for your questions. Shaka is here. Ali back from his holiday as well. Nedum on the brink of his holiday. You go literally tomorrow, Nedum.
Yeah, literally 12 hours from now, I'll be on a plane, in first class with all the kids,
Fantastic.
That's how I used to live my life. No, I'm actually in row 50, so yeah.
Oh, you're not doing a Home Alone, you're turning left, they're going right.
No, I'm going right and I'm walking for a good while, Dan.
Interesting scent at the back. Welcome back, Ali. What was your favourite part of your trip to Europe?
Well, my family, of course.
That
was great.
Yeah, listen to this, Nedum.
My family, of course.
What was their favourite part?
Not me. I would say we did an alpine slide in Lucerne in Switzerland from the top of the mountain down. That was quite an experience.
What sort of speeds do you think you were going?
Very fast. It was potentially irresponsible how fast I was going. They tell you have a stick, and if you push it forward, you're going full throttle. If you pull it back, it's to do the brake. I'm saying I didn't come here to pull the brake. May have been the wrong decision when I may have lost control. And may have wiped out. I look like the Jamaican bobsled team.
Don't blame Jamaica here.
No,
this is full Venezuela bobsled.
It was the Venezuelan
Did you leave a
team.
dent in the ice?
No, but I did leave my watch there. Yes. But it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was also fun when I was already down after I finally was able to gather the cart that I had lost and everything else and made it all the way down. That everybody in my family that came after me said, did you lose your watch? Because I think I saw it in the track. Did you lose your watch? Yeah. Even my wife said, I saw it, but I couldn't stop.
Oh, there we are.
But it was a lot of fun. It was
nice.
Yeah.
100% roses and sunshine, no arguments, nothing, I imagine.
Well,
For the boys. Have Arsenal done enough in this transfer window to challenge City? Let's start off with City TV. Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried. I'm getting ready for vacation, Dan. I got nothing to worry about. But they do look good. They look good. They do look good. I like the signing so far. I think Timber's a good one. Havertz is a good one. And I'm sure there's going to be a Rice as well, whenever that happens. So, I think they're looking very, very good. Question is, can they complete a whole season, not just 2/3 of it? But I think they're in a good spot right now. So I like the chances for next year.
How are you on the rides, Nedum?
Yeah, good. I'm good. And also, Ali, when you mentioned all that stuff, that's what I used to do back when I was in Utah in the summer. It's awesome. And it is something whereby, you do want to go as fast as you can until you realize it's probably not the best idea. But as far as rides go, I'm very much looking forward to it. Just not the queuing, I'd say.
Yeah, but your kids are the young ones. You're going to have to do like Dumbo, Small World, the whole shebang, Winnie the Pooh.
No, listen. There's more than just me and my wife going on this trip, Dan. So, some people want to go this way. Some people might go that way. Not always on a plane, but definitely in an amusement park.
Wish I could
just
afford
going to let your kids wander around the park.
Wish I could afford a nanny.
I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tonight.
Can I just tell you, among those little kid rides, Peter Pan always has a long line.
Always a queue.
Always a long line.
It's a great ride. It's a good ride.
Well, yeah, it's a classic.
Great ride. Yeah, exactly. For the boys, oh no, we've done that one. I'm just thinking, did we say anything bad about Disney?
No, we didn't.
We're okay.
No.
Nedum, percentage chance if Manchester City can repeat a treble in the upcoming season. Okay.
Fifth connect. It's a weird question, that one. You know what I mean? I saw one in 99, then I had to wait the 24 years to see the next one. So I don't expect it to happen next year. I don't expect it to happen for a long time. So I'm going to put it really low. I'll probably say 2% chance.
2% chance. Haraloa, Shaka Haraloa.
Higher, but not much.
What?
Well, because I don't have much room to go lower, do I?
Well, you could 1%. It's lower.
Yeah, but I don't have much room.
Well, there's room.
I'll go 1% higher.
3%.
Yeah.
Right? Ali?
What's the story behind Sebastian's right foot? Did I miss something?
I don't know. I don't watch when Seb's on.
Oh, okay, well, not many people do.
Come on, don't do Sebi like that. Sebi's a good guy.
I love Sebi.
We do need an answer for what's that name for.
Yeah,
Craig's pierced ear is obvious, yeah. because now he's trying to look like Kieran Gibbs. So he's going to get his ear pierced as well. That's the next.
No, wait a minute, but that didn't happen in my absence, did it?
What, him getting his ear pierced?
Yes.
No, he hasn't yet. No.
Okay.
But he's away for a couple of weeks, so who knows?
I know.
I could give him time to heal.
Hey,
Him and Kieran.
I need some preparation for that. I can't just walk into the studio and see him with an ear.
I'm ready for that.
Nedum, will Ancelotti's last year of contract have an impact on the reception of his messages in the locker room?
Poor. I don't think so, because it feels to me like he's a very well-respected manager. So people will be sad to see him leave, and they'll likely want to see him go out on a high, see them go out winning the league title again, taking over from Barcelona, doing well in the Champions League again like they have done historically. So I don't think the messages will wane. But what I would say is if the team's doing particularly badly, then I could see him potentially leaving the role sooner. But yeah, I wouldn't think going into this year that people would not listen to him, because at the end of the day, he is an iconic manager already, and he's very well respected by those players and the football club.
Shaka, during your career, was there ever a potential transfer that you and your agent thought was definitely going to happen but didn't?
Celtic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I nearly went to Celtic after West Ham, first time. So the goalkeeper coach up at Celtic, Terry Gano, was my goalkeeper coach at Newcastle.
Would you and Craig have...
I'm not. So this would have been, instead of going to Pompey, so this would have been 2002.
Right.
So anyway, the story is, my goalkeeper coach at Newcastle became the goalkeeper coach at Celtic. And I was going out of contract at West Ham, and Martin O'Neill was the manager at Celtic. Then the Leeds job became available, and they were after Martin O'Neill. And he just disappeared. So there was something about, I think Celtic weren't allowing him to talk to I think it was Leeds. I'm trying to remember if it was Leeds. But there was something going on, and he just disappeared.
Right.
Like, not even the coaching staff knew where he was. So the goalkeeper coach is saying, listen, we're desperate to get you up here. Before he disappeared, Martin was, he'd sign off on it. But now he just went missing. But at the same time, Harry Redknapp is talking to me about coming down to Portsmouth. So I kind of drag it on for as long as I can, but then I have to say to Terry, listen, Terry, I'm signing for Pompey. I do not know where Martin O'Neill is. I don't, nobody knows where he is. Nobody knows what he's going to do. I can't just sit here and wait, So so I told him that I had to make a decision. So I called Harry, went down to see him in Southampton, in Sandbanks.
Sandbanks, lovely, posh.
Lovely,
posh
very
in Sandbanks Alley, yeah.
And committed to joining Pompey.
And did you ever find out if Martin O'Neill...
He just reappeared 2 or 3 weeks later. He was gone for a long time.
Right.
And he just reappeared 2 or 3 weeks later and just carried on as Celtic coach. And
that was it?
I never heard anything as to what happened, where he went, what. He just kind of showed back up and carried on.
Nedum?
Well, funnily enough, I think I've got two stories, but one of them is to do with Martin O'Neill, because I never thought about leaving City before. And then I think it was when Aston Villa, the talk was that he was interested in signing me. The agent was telling me about it. They're saying they're just waiting on this potential thing, so on and so forth. And then as time got closer towards the end of the transfer window, I found out that I was one of about 5 names on the list.
Oh.
And he didn't know who it was going to be. Then all of a sudden you know exactly who it was going to be, because they just signed for Aston Villa. I was like, right, okay, never mind. But then the other one was 2012, when I actually ended, 2011-12, the August 2011 window. So I'd been training with the under-18s basically at City. I was as Deadwood could be. I was irrelevant at the football club. So I thought I was going to be leaving. So the last day of the transfer window, I was linked to go somewhere. So I packed up all my boots, all my clothes, toiletries, everything, said goodbye to everyone, all the very best, came to my house, sitting by my phone, watching the transfer deadline day on my TV, looked as every other person on the planet Earth got a move, and then I did not. And then the next day, carrying said bag with my toiletries, and I'm like, oh, hey everyone, guess who's back? It's me. I'm gonna go and train with the under-18s again.
Poor Nedum.
Tough, Dan. Tough. Humbling experience.
No, I feel for you. It's tough.
Yeah. Cheers, Dan.
For Ali and Nedum, which manager is likely to succeed Pep when he eventually leaves Manchester City, and why? Vincent Kompany? Is it that simple?
Arteta.
Nah, I don't think so.
What Arteta?
Oh yeah, he was.
Arteta. I know I wasn't asked my opinion, but I'll just give it.
No, that's
But
fair.
why would he leave Arsenal if he is sort of the guy, right?
Because he's
the
frustrated
king
not
of
having won
everything.
anything, and he have more riches. He'd be promised more riches.
No, but we're talking about Arsenal getting all these new players and building this squad and the young team, and the dog is named Win and all this and all these stories. The light bulb goes on.
He could take his dog, or he could take his light bulbs.
You can't take the dog. He's already bonded with Martinelli. I saw it today. And a lovely time
Take the
together.
dog.
Can't take the
Dog will
dog.
make new friends.
Oh, but what about them, the players?
They'll get another dog.
Oh, you can't do that. Nedum, company?
Not company too early, no. I'm going to say Xavi or Xabi Alonso. And then I think company comes after that.
Anyone that begins with X. One of the two.
Pretty much, yeah.
If company came and asked you to join his coaching staff, would you, Nedum?
No, absolutely not. Don't
Why
be
not?
ridiculous. Because I enjoy just coming on here at 10 o'clock at night for an hour, then calling that work. That's plenty.
See, honesty is the best policy, Nedum.
You just put out the cones, don't you? Go, yeah, get in there, everyone. Go on.
Is that what assistant coach does?
That's what
Yeah, get in there,
Every
everyone.
documentary, that's what they do.
No, Vinny's really good. Vinny's really, really good. Very in-depth. He's committed to it 24/7. And I'm the exact opposite to that. So, there's no point bringing me on board. I just want to be of any benefit to him.
We would so root against City. It would be fun. Yeah, let's Nedum. Okay, Shaka, how would you have felt if in all three matches at the 2006 World Cup, the goal Dwight York would have been... Sorry, Shaka, how would you have felt if in all three matches at the 2006 World Cup, in the goal, Dwight York would have been the goalkeeper? I don't know what that means.
Oh, no, we were talking about, a couple of days ago, we were talking about,
I
a
see.
centre-back and...
This is about Jesus being a baby.
Right.
And then obviously the question is, how would you feel if Dwight York was in goal?
That'd have been great to see. That'd have been the funniest thing in football. I'd loved it.
I feel you're like tongue-in-cheek now. This person asked a serious question.
That was a serious answer. I would love to see Dwight play a goal.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
You would have taken it like a man?
I always do that.
Well, there we go. Good. Nedum, we asked you about this whole Jesus Zinchenko thing.
You haven't, no. For me, like within football, you've got those that will cry about it and those that won't. You know, you can be upset, but to bring yourself to tears, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
And I could see why maybe he's a bit touchy about it. And, you know, it obviously was a big domino in terms of him deciding that he wanted to leave. But yeah, for me personally, I don't cry about football. I can be disappointed, I can be frustrated, but
No,
it doesn't
aside from the
ever
crying,
really
we
bring me to
all have a
tears.
good cry every night. But like overall,
Who's we?
Is there something you want to tell us here, Dad?
Was that a cry for help, Dad?
Stevie said he
Safe
would have been.
space.
Stevie said he would have been furious if he was in Jesus' shoes, given that he's replaced by Zinchenko.
Yeah, I think he's, in my opinion, from a player's perspective, he's got grounds to be upset, especially if he was training the position up until the day before the game itself. And I think for Pep, you know, some of his last-minute changes of plan and thought, you know, they can work out great and we won't really know much about it, but it usually comes at the expense of somebody else. And I'm sure he is hugely disappointed. But, Dan, I've got an even worse substitution type change of idea from the Man City manager.
The David James job.
You remember? The David James one.
yeah.
The David James one. If you decide that a goalkeeper has to play up front in a game with a striker on the bench, think how that striker felt. When you're worried about Jesus with Zinchenko playing up front, imagine being a striker on the bench when you're seeing David James, who's never steps out of his 18-yard box, he's playing up front trying to score a goal. Just think about that.
And Pierce had the number made already, like outfield shirt. It was like all premeditated.
Yeah, sorry to rant for a second here, but some people say, oh, he came on up front. No, David James played the full game. He played 70 minutes, basically, in goal. And then all of a sudden, the board goes up and Claudio Reyna, the American international, is coming off the field. And I think the guys will know sometimes when you get substituted, you see your number, but then the other number next to it, most of the time it's familiar. But Claudio Reyna's looking, he's probably thinking, whose number's this? Oh, it's another goalkeeper? Why is there a goalkeeper standing as I'm walking off the field? And then he walks off. Here comes Nicky Weaver. He goes in goal, and David James puts his shirt on. So to think that that's the tactic that's going to get you a win in the biggest game of the season, I don't know, maybe there's a reason why somebody's not in management at this moment in time, but perhaps that's just me.
Wow. It didn't work, by the way.
Well, imagine
if it did, though? Can you just imagine for a minute if it did? Oh, God.
I mean, all I think about is Shaka playing up top.
Wow.
Well,
Oh, this is where we go back to the college days.
Yeah.
well,
That no one's ever seen.
Allegedly.
I've got the videos for you, Dad. I've got goals to my name.
Okay, to all, one youth player, under 21 player, who you played with that you knew was going to make it big. Nedum?
Oh, wow. Make it big. Do you know, can you come back to me on that one?
Yes, I can.
I need
Yes.
to
Ali?
think back, yeah, thank you.
Juan Arango.
Oh, Anarango.
Yeah. We played against each other in youth national tournaments. So I was representing my state, my city, and my state, and he was obviously doing the same for his state. And we happened to play in the finals. My team won in penalties, but he was something else. And we were maybe 14 or something like that. We were really young. And he was a man amongst boys. It's almost to the point where we're like, is he in the same age group? Because this guy is something else.
If you've never seen him play, just YouTube his goals. Like the goals that he scored across the board are unbelievable.
And he was scoring those goals when we were that young, and he only carried scoring those goals his whole life. I mean, his left foot. A couple of things about Juan Arango. Had he been born somewhere that was more recognized as a soccer nation, his name would be far more famous and far more relevant. And the other thing I would say about Juan Arango is that his natural talent was second to none in South America. And I don't say that lightly. He just didn't apply himself all that much. It's only when he wanted. And when he wanted, he was the best player on the field against whoever we played.
Present company excluded, was he the best Venezuelan ever?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And what present company included?
Yes. Yes, absolutely, yes.
How fast could he have gone on the Alpine run?
Not as fast as I did.
Jack?
That's easy, Dwight York.
Right.
Easy, Dwight York. And even so, I think that Russell Latipi and Clint Marcel, Clint went on to play for Barnsley, he played in Portugal for a long time himself, were probably more dominant at youth football. And I say that because Dwight was 2 or 3 years younger than everybody else. So you had Russell and Clint kind of dominating everything about youth football in Trinidad and Tobago. And you had Dwight, who was maybe, you can argue, just below them in terms of level, but 3 years younger.
Right.
And then Dwight got snapped up at 16 to go to Aston Villa.
So he went to Villa when he was 16, yeah, then
16.
Villa to United. Yeah.
Correct. He went at 16. So he'd never matured, if you can use that term for youth football, or to the question, under 21. By 14 or 15, he was already, one of the best players on the island.
Who's bigger in Trinidad and Tobago, Lara or York? Or Hislop, sorry.
Oh, no.
Present company included.
Probably Lara.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, before I forget, sorry. We were walking the streets of Lucerne.
Oh, we have to go back to the bloody old...
Right next to the Kapelbrücke, the Chapel Bridge. Guy stops me, right? And says, I'm from Trinidad. I'm a big Shaka Hislop fan. Oh, it's like, my goodness.
Trinities are everywhere.
Yeah,
we are
man.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Shaka Hislop fan.
And then when did someone mention me?
They didn't mention you nor Seb for that matter.
Nedum, have you had time to think?
Yeah, it's not as exciting as, say, the guys, but say when I was coming through and playing for like England youth and stuff, it was James Milner. And at the time, he thought like he's a really good player, but at the end of his career, he might be number one in terms of Premier League all-time appearances. But to spin it a little bit, 2017-18, as a QPR as captain, and Abereze came through after he'd been released by 3 different clubs in the last 3 years. And he was this player that looked like maybe he wasn't going to have a career. But when you watched him train, you were like, this guy's good. This guy's really, really good. And then thankfully, 2-3 years on, a few more years on, he's made his debut for England. and he's on the verge of potentially being sold by Palace to one of the biggest teams in the Premier League. So I think he definitely had something, and I sensed that from early doors.
Nedum, would you take a pay cut to join a mid-table team if you were Harry Maguire?
I think if you need to leave Man United, then wherever you go, you're likely to take a pay cut. And, you know, the pay cut itself, he's not going to cut his money down from, say, the hundreds of thousands to maybe like £1,000 a week. I think he'll be all right. But I think for him, he's made the money. He just wants to get a chance to sort of think that he can build again, enjoy his football, be somewhere where he's wanted. So, yeah, 100%. And I think that, in some ways, is going to be out of his own hands because, as we're kind of seeing with De Gea, what you're on in one particular place is very rarely what you'll be getting at the next place unless you are the absolute top of your game.
Ali, MLS is played in the hot months. Miami at home in summer is unbearable.
Yes.
Considering Messi has reduced his work he does on the pitch, and considering the conditions, what will the strategy be for Miami, and who's going to shoulder the workload?
Not Messi.
Not Busquets.
Not Busquets either. But you have to find guys that are willing to put their heads down and cover the ground. And you have to find a structure that allows Lionel Messi the freedom to run when he wants to. And that's how it's going to be. This is the way that he was successful with Argentina in the World Cup. He wasn't always running with Argentina. In fact, there were many times in which it was a slow jog. But that gave him the opportunity that whenever he did get the ball and he was in an attacking position, he then could make the impact that he had at the World Cup. He's still the best player in the world, but to the point of the conditions in Miami, yes, they are unbearable. And they don't change just in the summer. Miami will stay hot long into what would be the autumn months and the fall here in the United States. It'll be September, it'll be October, it'll still be hot in Miami.
But they won't make the playoffs, so that'll help.
That'll help a while.
That's a good thing.
That'll give him a little break.
But I think the bigger point here says there has to be a structure that allows Lionel Messi to be Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets to be the guy who runs the team with possession of the ball. But in order for that to happen, there has to be 4 or 5 guys whose job is going to be run, 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 also run.
Oh, it's a lot of running. Forrest Gump style. Finally, for Dan, is the Ashes miracle possible? So, Ali, we're 2-0 down against Australia.
Okay.
The Ashes, this is the big cricket rivalry.
Yeah.
If Australia won today, then it's done. We've got no chance. We're not going to come back. It's a best-of-5 series. We won today, though.
Okay, so does that mean you have a chance?
We definitely have a chance. We go to Old Trafford in 10 days with every opportunity to win the Ashes.
And how are you feeling?
Well, I was up at 6 a.m. to watch. I don't get up early to watch soccer matches.
That's a proper fanboy. You're a proper fanboy when it comes to all things in England. I give you that.
Yeah.
And all things England, you're off.
Nedum, any cricket interest in the new household?
Yeah, a little bit. But what I would say is that England need to win the next 2. But because that next game's in Old Trafford, the likelihood is it will be washed out. So we'll end up as a draw. And as a consequence, Australia will retain the Ashes. Sorry to be that guy, Dan, but it's very wet up here.
Wow.
He is that
You've
guy,
literally rained on my parade. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Did you connect the Ashes with Formula One? Did you do that?
Formula One, I'm a little bit...
Yeah, a little down on it.
Although we have Formula One ESPN, so it's very good, but... It's not the best at the moment. Not the best, but it can still get better.
It's Verstappen and then everybody else.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.